Third time's a charm. So I have been speaking with my microphone not around, speaking with my microphone off, and now we're ready to continue. Welcome everybody, this is the Tabletop Tyrant, and I am doing an Empire introduction onto their faction. This is going to serve more for posterity when it comes to the old world, because I don't think we're going to be getting as many Blackfire weapons. Certain things aren't going to be on the menu, and that's okay because we're going back in time before Magnus kind of kicked the crap out of Asavar Cool. So, without further ado, I bring to you the introduction. Quick caveat, if I make a mistake, I apologize. I'm not an Empire player by trade. All I can say is I've looked at the rules and tell you what I think looks good rules-wise. If you are an Empire player, I guarantee you've been playing longer than I have. Let me know in the comments below if I made a mistake or if you see validity in a unit where I did not. I'm totally open to it. We all have our own ways of playing, and I'm not very competitive with like orcs or the Empire, so you know, be that as it may. Without further ado, boom. Oh nope, gotta push the mouse. Boom. Look at that, PowerPoint proficient college. Oh man, got something out of it. Regimental units and detachments. So these dudes have a pretty nifty special rule. If you'll know, it's the skimpier side of special rules compared to the other armies we've covered. So regimental units can take detachments. Detachment size must range from 5 models to half the number of the regiment rounding up. So if the regiment it's attached to is 20 halberdiers, then you may only have up to 10 handgunners, swordmen, spearmen, swordsmen, anything that has a detachment or regiment special rule. Detachments can purchase any equipment, however they may not take command elements. They borrow the command and leadership from the regiment. So total points are locked to the regiment. So in terms of, I think, victory points, say you took a 200 point detachment of handgunners and a 400 point regimental unit of halberdiers, they count as a total of 600 points if someone wipes them off the map. Obviously, right? And then last thing, detachments borrow the regimental leadership as long as they're not fleeing, and also because they fight so closely together, they also benefit from the special rules such as frenzy, hatred, hold the line, immune to psychology, stubborn, steadfast, and stupidity, which is nice because great swords actually have the regimental and I think detachment keyword. They definitely have regimental. So detachment. So what can they do? What does it have? What's the benefit of having a detachment? Well, it can offer support by fire. They can do overwatch. Their shots also count towards the regiment shots, say if it's 2 handgun units. And that also counts towards the casualty panic check if they took heavy cas. And then they may also countercharge. So say you get hit in the front, your detachments can kind of close and hit the flanks. Really freaking sweet. Really, really awesome to see done. Personally, in my opinion. So now that we've kind of went through the special rules, I'm going to briefly go through their armory. Mechanical steed, movement 7, weapon skill 1, ballistic skill 0, strength 4, toughness 4, 1 wound, 1 initiative, attack 1, leadership 2, D3 impact hits. You have unreliable, so roll a D6. On 2 through 6, nothing happens. On a 1, deduct D3 movement from the steed's movement. You have full plate that confers a 4-up armor save, much like Chaos Warrior. You have a grenade blunderbuss, range 18, strength 6, AP, move or fire, slow to fire, so you cannot overwatch when someone charges you, or whatever they want to call it in this game. And you get move or fire. Now that's going to come in handy when it comes to looking at things like the Outriders. Next, you have the Hochland Long Rifle, 36-inch range, strength 4, AP, move, fire, slow to fire, and sniper. So a lot of the stuff you see AP, it's pretty boo-boo because strength 4, you're already -1 to the armor save. AP is another minus to the armor save, so you're -2 to the armor save. Take, for instance, the grenade blunderbuss. That thing's strength 6, so that's already -3 to your save, plus AP's -4. So Chaos Knights with a 2-up or a 1-up armor save now have a 5-up, if my math... I'm just kidding. You've seen the PowerPoint, you know I can do math. Anyways, so yeah. Yeah, the pigeon bombs. I think these are like absolutely ridiculous. So Master Engineer, instead of firing, can use these bad boys. And you have to, in my opinion, represent the pigeons on the tabletop. It's necessary. all seriousness aside, small template, 24-inch range, D6. You have to roll a D6 and refer to a chart, right? Number 1 is a oopsies. You suffer a strength 4 hit, and every model under the template. 2 through 4 is a boom, bomb explodes in the air, and a 5 to 6 is considered huzzah. Center template, strength 4 hit, everything underneath. Pretty disgusting. Still, though, you have a 1 in 6 chance it blows you up. Repeater handgun. These are okay. You're looking at 24-inch range, strength 4 AP, multi-shots 3, so 3 shots, quick to fire, so that's pretty dope. Repeater pistol, range 12, strength 4 AP, multi-shot 3, quick to fire. You can take a brace of repeater pistols, which gives you an extra shot and an extra attack in combat, so that's pretty sweet. Moving forward, again, I try to keep these quick for anyone that's new, quick so we can cut down the time, and this is just a brief overview. So boom and boom. Heirlooms of magic, aka magical weapons and armory. The rune thing we covered in the video, boom, right here. So auto hits, no armor saves, and 85 points. Pretty gross, but pretty expensive. The Mace of Hellstrom, 50 points. Strikes last two-handed, so that means it requires 2 hands. Plus 2 strength. Can choose to do a single attack, however. That strike is strength 10. Flaming for, Tomb Kings get wrecked. D3 wound. So there's a chance you just do 1 Hail Mary hit and just absolutely pulverize whatever you're looking at. The Armor of Meteoric Iron, I prefer to put on Warrior Priest. You get a 1-up save and a 6-up ward, and it's 50 points. So pretty cool. Helm of Skaven Slayer, 15 points. Add 1 to your armor save. So if your armor save 4, your armor save 3. You cause terror, but Skaven also gain hatred while they're attacking the wearer. So you cause terror when you're in base to base, I believe, and they get hatred. If you're not in base to base, you cause fear against the models from the Skaven army. You get the white, and that's just to my ability of reading it. The book was a little weird when reading it, but that's also probably me. The White Cloak of Ulrich, 50 points. Enemies in base contact are -1 to hit to the wearer. 5-up ward save. Increase a 2-up with flaming attack. So if someone wants to hit you with a flaming attack, get wrecked, nerd. 2-up with a 2-up ward save. The Griffin banner, 60 points. Personally, there's other banners you can take that are cheaper, but this just allows you to double any benefit in combat res for rank bonuses. So if you get 2 to your rank bonus at the end of combat, it becomes 4. So you add that to your combat resolution. The Steel Standard. Now this is a big one because most of the cavalry can be upgraded to have a magical banner of 50 points. Now this is a 35-point banner, and it allows you to reduce the moving penalty of barding. Reroll dice rolls of 1 when charging, fleeing, or pursuing. So 3d6, picking the 2 highest for Swift Stride. Not bad. And you'll be able to run people down. Pretty good. And then the Ring of Volans is actually really interesting. I don't know why I've never checked into it. It's a 30-point ring, 1 use only. The bearers count as a level 1 wizard, and you can pick a spell from the 8 lores, and its casting value is the bound power level. So whatever the minimum casting value is, that's the bound power level, at least to me reading. So 6 to cast is 6-up power on the ring. Continuing. Lores of Magic. Pick your poison. You get to actually pick from the 8 lores in the core rulebook. Lore of Shadow, Heavens, and Death are my favorite. And the only reason I like the Lore of Heavens is because the Comet of Cass and Dora sounds awesome. Has yet to function for me, but it's a really cool spell in theory. And then obviously Lore of Shadows, do the Withering, Lore of Death, Purple Sun of Xerxes. I think Lore of Death is honestly some of the strongest lore in the game, but that's just my opinion. And then we're going to look at kind of like what they can take for their Imperial Armory. So you have the Griffin, the Pegasus. The Griffin's considered a monster, movement 6, weapon skill 5, ballistic skill 0, strength 6, toughness 5, initiative 4, attacks 4, leadership 7. Now, it can move 6 when kind of chasing down a unit, but because it flies, it moves 12. So anything in here with wings has a 12-inch movement unless it's pursuing an enemy. It has 6 because there's not enough time to take off into the air, as the rulebook would state. The Pegasus is a monstrous beast, movement 8, weapon skill 3, ballistic skill 0, strength 4, toughness 4, wounds 3, initiative 4, attacks 2, leadership 6, pretty dope. You have the Imperial Dragon. We'll cover him a little bit later, but Karl Franz is the only one that gets to enjoy this monster. He's movement 6, weapon skill 6, ballistic skill 0, strength 6, toughness 6, wound 6, initiative 3, attacks 5, leadership 8, and also 300 whopping points to put Karl Franz on that bad boy. A war horse, so you got movement 3, war horse, war beast, yeah, okay, weapon skill 0, ballistic skill 3, strength 3, toughness 3, wounds. I'm pretty sure I read that wrong. I think a war horse is movement 8. I just hit the wrong key when taking notes, sorry about that. And then you have the war altar of Sigma chariot, 5-up save. It has the movement of the 2 horses. It has something called the golden griffin, which gives it power level 4 banishment. So get wrecked, undead, and demons. And then you can upgrade it to the Horn of Sigismund, not the champion of the Emperor and the heresy, but a different Sigismund, and that gives you terror, so equally disgusting. On top of it, you're getting stubborn and a 4-up ward save, so pretty dope. Holy fervor and large target, so pretty awesome stuff. And the power of Sigma. There we go. Enough of the Sigmar nonsense. Let's go to the units. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, look at that sweet, awesome artwork. Boom. Click that. It's building an army. I cover this in all the videos just so that way we're up to snuff. In 8th edition, you build an army with a core of 25% minimum, special up to 50%, and rare up to 25%. Now, I will have it be said, in previous editions, I believe it was 2 core units for 2,000 points, and then you had to include a core unit every increment of 1,000. So 3,000 points would be 3, 4,000 points would be 4, so on and so forth. I may be remembering that wrong, but just so that way we have an idea when they do the old world, how they're going to do their kind of breakdown. Boom! Let's move on. So, as it would state, we got halberdier, spearmen, swordsmen, crossbow, handgunners, archers, free company, militia, knightly orders. So, halberds are +1 strength, 6 points, light armor, pay 1 for a shield. Spearmen, they get an extra rank of attacks when charged. They're 5 points. You have to pay 1 point for a shield and can include a command. So 10 points for all of these. 10 points for champion. It's 10 points for standard. 10 points for musician. All of these have the keyword minus the knights of regiment and detachment. Swordsmen, they come with a shield for free and you get a 6-up parry save. So that's like a ward save pretty much. Crossbowmen, strength 3, AP. So you're -1 of the armor save, 9 points. Now here's where they get outpaced. Handgunners, 9 points, strength 4 with AP. So that's already pretty freaking rough to go against. You might as well just take the handgunners, unless you're going for the look of the crossbow. And then you may upgrade the sergeant to repeater handgun, or a Hochland long rifle, or brace of pistols. Archers, I don't know why you'd use them, but they're 24-inch range, strength 3 and 7 points, maybe for the cheapness. Or for volley fire. Free company, 2-hand weapons, 6 points. Now we're going to bump into the knightly orders. 22 points, they get a hand weapon. Lance, which I believe is +2 strength on the turn they charge. Barding, which gives them +1 of their armor save, -1 of their movement. Shield, full plate. So you're looking at 4 up for full plate, 2 up for barding, 1 up if you take a shield. A 1 always fails technically, but for strength 4 you would still have a 2-up armor save. So if you got hit with a strength 4 weapon, you'd still be at a 2-up, not a 3-up. So anyways, you can upgrade these dudes to the Inner Circle Knights. No, not from the Dark Angels, but the Inner Circle Knights without the Cenobium for 3 points a model. And you can give it full command for, again, 10 points for champion, banner, and musician. But they can take a 50-point standard, and as core, that's pretty decent. So you can put that steel standard on them and just get rid of the negative modifiers of moving, and you're pretty much rocking Reiksguard Knights minus stubborn. But you know what? You can't complain. In my opinion. Well, you can, but I don't think anyone's going to care. Great Sword Regiment. You get stubborn. And so that will confer actually to your detachment like we talked about. So say you take 30 swordsmen, you can take 15 sword, or 30 great swords, 15 sword and board, and they also get stubborn. So pretty cool. They can have a magic standard up to 50 points. They have a great weapon, so always strikes last, and full plate, so 4-up armor save. Now the Demigriff. These dudes are intense. So for 58 points, their minimum unit of 3. They have 3 attacks, and the chicken is strength 5 with AP. So that's like being strength 6. Those chickens don't mess around, dude. So they do cause fear, and you can exchange the lance for the halberd. If you feel like you're not going to be able to get the charge off a lot with them, then I would take the halberd. It's a free exchange. And then again, they're packing shields, barding, full plate, lance, hand weapon, and a 50-point magic standard if you choose. Now, Reiksguard Knights. These are really cool. They're pretty much like the Inner Circle Knights, but for 2 more points, you get Stubborn. Not bad, and they can take a 50-point magic standard. Huntsmen, 10 in the unit, 8 points per model, and it counts as skirmishers. They have bows and hand weapon, and yeah, I have skirmisher. Yep, skirmisher. And scout. So, pistoliers. These are the dudes on the horse with the pistols, the John Waynes, and they are 18 points. They have a brace of pistols. They pack light armor, so 6 up on their fast cav. Fast cav is interesting because if someone declares a charge, you can choose to flee and then automatically rally on your turn. And because these weapons are quick to fire, they can actually move and fire. They'll still take the -1 the ballistic skill when moving. However, they still get to move and fire. Whereas their counterparts, the Outriders, 21 points with a repeater handgun, do not get to move and fire. And they are fast cav, which is a detriment. You can upgrade them +1 for barding and just kind of perch them somewhere and hope they're useful. But honestly, because they're slow to fire, not worth it in my opinion. Now we're going to go back because that wasn't over. I don't know what it was thinking. We had the Great Cannon. I'm with this PowerPoint. It's skipping it. The Great Cannon, I believe, is strength 9. So you roll artillery dice, obviously. You pick the range. I can't remember 72, 96, or 120. I have, for some reason, the Heresy artillery stuck in my head. I have a game coming up, I think, this week. I'm not sure yet. So pretty much you roll the artillery die and scatter die. If it doesn't misfire, it will hit, and then you roll the artillery die again, and the cannonball, unless you hit the misfire, considers as bouncing. If you misfire the shot, consult the black powder chart in the back of the big book. Mortar, oh, by the way, it's 120 points. The mortar is 100 points, 12 to 48 inches, strength 6 in the hole of the template, and strength 2 on the outside. And it's also D3 wounds, I believe, on the center hole. It is a large template, and it has a misfire, so if you do misfire, roll the d6 on the black fire chart, so on and so forth. Now the flagellants. These dudes are like really crazy, and I believe still in production. Really good if you threw a warrior priest with them. They're like the crazy religious dudes. They pretty much live in Revelations, and they're unbreakable. And in the beginning of the combat phase, you actually have to take d6 strength 3 hits on your unit. Now, these don't count towards combat res. These are considered martyrs. And if 1 martyr was obtained, roll a d6 and consult the chart. On a 1, you re-roll your failed to hit. On a 2 through 3, you re-roll your failed to hit and wounds. And on a 4 up, you get +1 toughness, re-roll all failed to hit and wound. So that's a pretty big freaking deal right there. Really, really tough. Throw a warrior priest in there. He's over there blessing him, doing his nonsense, and you're good to go. You're golden. You're laughing. Now on to the rare. Now here's where we get a little skimpy. I'm pretty sure you can see all of this stuff go away when the new edition comes out. I'm not sure, but we'll pretty much count on it. And again, that's because Magnus the Pious hasn't founded any of the stuff that is going on currently with Karl Franz. Now we have Hellblaster is a 24-inch, strength 5 AP, and you roll 3 arty dice to determine the shots. If you roll a misfire, you have the result. If you roll 2 misfire, consult the D6 black powder chart. And if you roll 3 misfires, you get 30 shots, and the thing is removed as play. However, if you get no misfires, tally up your total, and those are the shots you make. Moving on to the Hellstorm Rocket, you get 48 inches, strength 3. And you get a template, the small template. So inside the center hole is still 3, so no big deal. And you roll pretty much a D3 to see what you're going to get for your shots. Each shot gets its own scatter die, and if you roll a misfire, you must consult the chart, and you resolve the shots as if you would a stone thrower. Next is my least favorite thing to explain, the steam tank. It's a chariot, +1. Has a 1-up armor save. You generate steam points. You declare how many steam points you want to generate. You can say anywhere from 0 to 5. Steam points allow you to move, they allow you to use a breath weapon, and they allow you to use your cannon. So once you say, I'm going to say, I want to roll 5 steam points, you roll your artillery die, and if it is above the wounds, you take the leftover steam points and you roll a d3 and you consult a chart where the chart ain't looking good for you if you mess up. Now, the breath weapon and the cannon work as such. It starts off as strength 2 if you spend 1 steam point for it. It can go to strength 3 for 2 and strength 4 for 3. Same thing with the cannon. Now the range is pretty derp, but the strength is nothing to scoff at. You're looking at 12 inches with 1 steam point, 24 inches with 2, 36 inches for 3, strength 10, d6 multiple wounds. Also the great cannon's d6 multi-wounds too. I should have mentioned that. Oh man, the Celestial Harconum and the Luminarch of Hyish. I don't believe those are still in stock. I would have to look. So let's go with the Celestial Harconum. It has a 5-up armor. It's got Locus of Azir. Add 1 die to your power pool at the start of your magic phase when casting. You cannot, however, exceed 12 total in your power pool. So if you somehow roll 2 6s to channel, it's nothing. You got Portents of Battle. Unit within 6 inches get +1 to hit in close combat. And you have the Storm of Shekmak Tekton. It's a power level 4, range 24, d6 scatters. You also use that d6 to look at a chart. If you roll 1, it rains, nothing happens. 2, suffer strength 2 hit. In addition, anyone touched by the templates -1 to hit until next magic phase. Shooting attacks that don't use ballistic skill are unaffected. 3, you have Raging Tornado. If the target's under the center hole and not engaged, roll a scatter die. Face the unit in that direction. You cannot come within 1 inch of passable terrain. 4 through 5 is a Lightning Strike, center hole strength 6 hit, outside strength 3, and Meteor Strike is a 6.
Meteor Ship!
Suffer a strength 8, d6 multi-wounds. Rest of template is strength 3. So, yeah, well, you know, pretty good. The Luminarch of Hyish, 5-up armor save, aura protection. All friendly units within 6 inches have a 6-up ward save. At the start of magic phase, add 1 to Dispel pool. Solheim Bolt of Illumination, power level 4. So it's I believe a 36-inch range missile, strength 8, d3 wounds, flaming attacks, and penetrates ranks like a bolt thrower. So, because it's strength 8 to toughness like 3, you'll need, like, say, a 2 to wound. Next rank will be another 2, then a 3. And as you keep going through, you essentially keep going until you either run out of troops to mess up, or until the ranks run out. And if this is undead, Nehakaran undead, or demonic special rules, reroll your failed to wounds, because they don't like the demons. Moving on. Lords and Heroes. Boom. Look at that. So name lords, name heroes, generic and heroes. So 25% lords, 25% heroes, end times is 50%. Yeah, there we go. Karl Franz, he has a rune fang. You can pay to put him on Deathclaw for 250 points. He does not come stock with it, or you can pay 300 for the Imperial Dragon. And if you want Galmaraz, you got to cough up another 30 points for it. Kurt Helborg and his majestic mustache. He's the Reichsmarshal. He rolls with the Reichsguard. Balthazar Gelt's a level 4. Level 4 wizard in the lore of metal. He's 360 points. Kurt Helborg is 320. Volkamar the Grim, 190 plus 150 for War Altar. He's pretty much a named Lord Warrior Priest. And then you have Marius Leetdorf and his horse Daisy, the Mad Count. So I'll go into these guys separately in their own videos, obviously, because there's like a lot of lore to unpack and their gear is all super special. So at the end of all these series and after we cover all the army books, I'll be breaking down the lores and stuff and getting into that. Named heroes: Ludwig Schwarzenhelm, the Emperor's champion. I believe he rides a horse too. Luther Huss, Prophet of Sigmar. I believe, if memory serves me correctly, he rolls with Volton. And then you have Marcus Wolfhart, Hunts Marshal of the Empire. I believe they did something with him in Total War with the Lizardmen. I'm not too sure. But he has the Amber Bow, so there's that. And Ludwig is 185 points. Luther's 155 in the Amber Bow with Marius Wolfhart. Marcus Wolfhart is 140 points. Boom. So here we go. Quick overview. General of the Empire. Pretty much 100 points. Magical items. Can take full plate mail. Has access to the armory. Yada, yada, yada. Cannot take, however, like the War Altar Sigmar. That's restricted for the Archlector. Battle Wizard starts off Wizard level 3, up to 100 points of magical items. Can upgrade the Wizard level 4. Based on what your Wizard level is, determines how many spells you get. If you're Wizard level 4, you get 4 spells, and you get to add 4 to your casting value. So say you roll a 22, you got a 26. The same thing applies if he's wizard level 3. You have 3 spells and you add 3 to your casting value. Arch Lector, crazy. Warrior Priest, pretty much hopped up. And then you got the Grandmaster. Grandmaster is pretty okay. I didn't really look a whole bunch into him, but he comes to the Warhorse and he's 155 points. The others are 95 for the General, 165 for the Battle Wizard, and 100 for the Arch Lector. Now moving to the heroes. Captain of the Empire starts off at 60 points. You can upgrade him to a BSB for 25 points, and he may take a magical standard. So it's like your army battle bear. 65 points for the Warrior Priest, 65 points for the Battle Wizard. And these heroes can only include magical items up to 50 points. So there you go. I'm pretty sure the Captain of the Empire can upgrade to full plate as well. However, the Warrior Priest and the Battle Wizard do not. I think the Warrior Priest can only take heavy. And then here we go, the Witch Hunter. So I'm going to go into him because he's kind of cool and unique. He's Magic Res 2, so 5 up against Magic. Accusations, especially, has selected enemy model at the very beginning. Reroll failed to hit rolls and gain killing blow. And when shooting at a unit he's in, gain the sniper rule. He has Grim Resolve, auto pass Fear along with the unit he's in, and treat Terror as Fear. Tools of Judgment when attacking undead, or Nehekar undead, or demon special rules, or wizards, reroll failed to wounds. So he's pretty much nasty. You don't want that dude on your side. And then we're just going to come to the summary here. You know, this is pretty much how do we prepare for the old world. There is absolutely zero advice I can give you on this. I think that the Cities of Sigmar stuff that they just released might be good if you want to do something like with detail and get into it and not wait. And I can kind of see it because you're all divided. Like, all the different provinces are divided. They'll have their own cultures. And it's really going to allow you to convert and make any army you want based on that culture. So I really think the sky is your limit. You could get the old Empire models. You can use the new Cities of Sigmar models. All that stuff is up for grabs. It's really like, I think your imagination is going to be the barrier. However, I would refrain from building anything with this army until we have an idea of what's going on in it, because for the first time I don't really know what we're going to be packing inside the range. So everybody, that was it. In conclusion, thank you so much for showing up. I love making these for the channel. They're a lot of fun. I think they're going to be really cool to look back at and see what we get in the future. If you like the content, please think about subbing, think about liking the video if you liked it. If not, totally understandable. I get that. This Friday, I will be doing Tomb King's army introduction, so stand by for that. And then the following week will be Bretonia, and then we should start wrapping up with Wood Elves and Beastmen, I believe. So, with that being said, what happens when I'm done with the armies that will be featured in the old world? Well, I'm going to obviously cover the old armies as well, because they're still going to get some sort of PDF. So everybody, have a wonderful day. I look forward to seeing y'all on Thursday, where we talk about how to build our own BSB. And yeah, that's pretty much it, everybody. Peace.